If you're investing resources in SEO and industrial content marketing, here's a stat that should make you worry. Research shows that only 29% of Google searches ever click on an organic search result, only 0.4% on a paid ad, and only about 12% even make it to another Google property like YouTube and images. I'm Ed Marsh here with some tips on industrial marketing. So the bottom line is that companies are pouring money and time into tactics and playbooks that work less than a third of the time. And even then, that doesn't consider whether you rank, what page you're on, what your conversion rates are when visitors actually hit your website. Now, it wasn't this way even just a few years ago. If you did about a thoughtful keyword research and wrote some great content, you could rank. You could drive traffic and engage visitors to convert them to leads. And because many companies didn't, you could easily create a competitive edge. But SEO results and website traffic are stagnant for some and falling for many industrial manufacturers. You're not going to hear this often, though. SEO and content marketing agencies have well-established playbooks. Their staffing, their services, their strategy packages, and their toolkits are based on what has worked in the recent past. And as it gradually fails to, they're doubling down, often with a sprinkling of AI. But content consumption habits have changed. 10 years ago, interesting blog articles and email newsletters were still enough of a novelty that people spent time consuming them. They'd interrupt what they were doing and had enough slack in their schedules and tasks to concentrate and read content. Of course, it had to be decent, but people would read it. That's less and less the case, as demonstrated by the Google search outcomes. Sure, when they're ready to buy a solution, people will often run a search to see if there are any vendors that they didn't know about. At that point, there's a bidding war. And further, 71% of buyers select the company that was originally at the top of their short list anyway. That's because trust has become more important. But here's the question. How can you reach buyers early in their journey, before they've self-diagnosed, before they've decided on a solution, and long before they're considering finalists? How can you be the company that establishes trust by helping them understand and quantify their problem and consider a range of solutions early on? That takes a different content approach. Instead of the stale content marketing playbook, what SEO and marketing agencies know how to do, you need an industrial content marketing approach that's built around what you need to do for your buyers in your market with their current habits. That takes a new kind of content distributed in new ways. It takes pre-awareness content in the form of edutainment. In other words, content in forms that can be consumed passively while people are doing other things. Content that will provide some entertainment and also enrichment and education, or content that's easily scrollable. Now, this doesn't mean really simplistic content. It means substantive and material insights that help them do their jobs better. As they engage with it, over time, they come to know you and your company and gradually view you as a credible source. They'll be open to understanding how new issues that you raise may help them look at their business differently and become aware of opportunities to improve that they hadn't considered. When the time is right, they may engage with some of your longer written content, or maybe schedule a meeting or request some info. That's where your written content pays off today. It supports the sales process and is therefore, of course, still important. But the lead generation playbook of traditional inbound marketing is no longer feasible for most industrial manufacturers. The volume of content is overwhelming. The rate of decay of SEO success is really increasing. Competition for rankings is brutal, and buyers' habits and preferences have changed. It's time to pivot your industrial content marketing strategy for reaching new prospects in today's zero-click world. If you're interested in this approach, let's set up a time to chat about your buyers, the problems that matter to them, the questions they're asking, and how you can reach them with edutainment content when they are consuming most content passively.